I'm super mature, guys. And if I hear the word balls, I giggle. That's how mature I am. Hey, Mary. So, you ready? Okay. So when you feel like there's negative energy around you or those negative thoughts that just won't go away, like they've had their time in the sun, what do you do when these are hitting you? This is how you do it. All right. So there are 4 steps to this. BALS. Yeah, Heather said balls. And I giggled every time, Jamie. Every time. I try to be a mature person. Hey, Kristen. But this is what you get. What you see is what you get. Okay. So the first thing in our BALS acronym that we can remember to do when we're feeling the negative energy hit us, or the negative feelings and thoughts sticking around, the first thing you want to do, the first B, is beside. Okay, so let me write that just to be fun on the screen. Beside. So what that means is you want to take the energy, the situation, the feelings, the thoughts, and you want to imagine putting them beside you. Okay, so that they're not here. This is the first problem when you have that negative energy, negative thoughts, negative feelings, and it's too close. You're not putting it down. Like you're going through your day doing everything with it like clawed onto the front of your face and just right in the front of your awareness. And in order to move past it and to really see it for what it is, you have to imagine literally putting the energy of it beside you. You're not ready to get rid of it yet. It's not going to release, but you have to think of it as going beside you. This makes it so much easier to fight. It might sound like such a simple little thing, but let me just tell you, just the thought of this has to go beside me. I need to go throughout my day with this next to me, not here. Does that make sense, you guys? You really want to make sure you're shifting that and doing that, okay? All right, so the second one, hey, Maureen West, glad you're here. The second one is, let's see if it's going to let me type it. Oh, hide, that's what the button says. Come on, Mercury. Hey, Elizabeth. Here we go. There's the word I typed. Okay, so the first one is beside, and the second one is accept. So once you put the energy beside you, the energy, the thoughts, the feelings, you put it over next to you, what you need to do next is accept it. This is where people get the most stuck. They just do not want to accept that this negative thing or this negative energy or the thoughts that they're having or the feelings they're experiencing are actually there. They just don't want to accept that. Fighting this will keep you stuck. It will keep this stuck to you because you need to accept it. You don't have to like it. Acceptance isn't saying it's okay. It's just saying, I accept that this is going on. I accept that I am experiencing this, and I realize that it's for some kind of reason. I don't know what that reason is yet, but I accept it, okay? So you place it beside yourself. You really just visualize it, okay? If you're like a person who needs to act it out, be like, right there, come along with me. Hey, Megan. So you put it beside you, and then you accept it. Let's say what the thing is that you have to accept is you're having lots of negative thoughts, negative feelings about your job, okay? When I say that you need to accept it, I don't mean that you need to accept staying at that job or that your job sucks. What I mean is that you have to accept the fact that you're experiencing some kind of negative energy or negative thought pattern or negative feelings as a result of your job. You can't keep fighting with that. You have to accept it. You have to be in the present and be aware and go, okay, this is the situation. This is reality, and I accept that this is what's happening to me. This is where I am right now. You're also not saying that you're not going to, I'm not going to do anything about it. I'll just accept it and stay where I am. No, you're saying, I accept that this is happening to me. I accept that it's for something. I accept it. I accept this crappy thing that's been dealt to me. I accept it. I hate it. I don't like it. I wish it was different. I wish it wasn't there. I wish I'd already released it. Fine, but you have to accept it. Make sense? Okay. The next part of balls. See, I giggle every time. Learn. Did it say the right word across the screen? Yeah, good. So what is this here to teach you? Why did this situation, this event, this negative energy, why did it come into your life? There's always a reason, all right? Now, in order to solve this, you have to have done steps 1 and 2. If you try to skip right onto this step, you're going to struggle. You're going to not see outside of what your ego thinks of it. So it's really important to put it beside you, really look at it and accept it, and then learn. What am I supposed to learn from this situation? Okay, I recently had quite a few people, but I recently had one certain person come just kind of out of the woodwork and be rude to me about something. And this is someone that I had done a lot of stuff for, right? Empaths, we do all these things for other people. You know, they're the kind of person that if they call, you know that they want something from you. You know that they're about to ask you for something. And I had asked them for something and got like a no. Not even a polite no. It was something very small. Okay. So then they proceeded to go down this rude spiral at me afterwards. So what I did with that is I put it beside me because it was hurtful. As empaths, we feel the feelings more. Okay. So I'm like, what the heck is this? But I got to put this beside me. And then I said, well, I accept that this has happened. I accept that this person has done something that's hurt my feelings and that they have not met an expectation that I have of their behavior. Clearly, I was expecting them to be kinder to me or to do this for me because I would do that for them. And so, all right, I have to move from expectation to acceptance. So I accept that this is what I'm dealing with. I don't like it, but I accept it. I see that, I recognize it, I accept it. Now I go, what can I learn from this situation? What is this telling me? What is this teaching me? And so immediately I knew that a big part of this was that I hadn't been doing a good job with my boundaries with this person. If I was doing so many things for them and all of a sudden they can't do something for me. And the problem is that the fact that they wouldn't do something in return was new. Okay, they previously would have. This sort of turn of events was new. So what I took from it is that instead of being really offended, I'm just going to shift my boundaries around this and think that maybe they have something going on that I just happen to be triggering. So instead, I'm going to learn that I go right to defense here. I go right to, how dare you not do something for me? Because I'm really, that really bothers me. I know that's one of my things that, you know, people who I go out of my way for sometimes will not return the favor or won't ask how I am or any of that, right? People who are, you know, outside of work people who are in your life. And so that's something that I'm super sensitive about anyway. So I knew that. So I thought, why don't I learn from this and decide to reach out and say, is there something else going on? Or is there something that I did that would have hurt you? Now, normally I would just be like, push away. They'll tell me eventually, whatever. But I decided to learn and think, I think that's what's right when it comes to this person. So that's what I did. That's what I did. I asked them. Okay. Which brings me to my next step. All right. So you learn. What can I learn from this? Sometimes the answer comes right away. Sometimes you got to do some thinking or you need to reach out for some help. Okay. All right. So of balls, the last S is solve. Okay. So what that means is how can I shift into the mindset of solving the problem here and what actually is the problem? So in that scenario I was telling you about, Maureen said Mercury. Yes, right? Mercury screws up communication too with people. So everyone like reads into stuff wrong. So I did that. I reached out and I said, you know, what's going on? And the person said back to me that they were just feeling as if I had left them in the dust. And I didn't really know what that meant. So I think what they were saying was that they were feeling kind of neglected. So instead of getting defensive here, I tried to learn from the first thing. Remember what I was learning from this happening? And I thought, okay, now I'm a little exhausted with this person of giving, but I'm going to solve this because I don't want this hanging between us. I'm going to shift our boundaries, but what can I do to solve this? So what I said was, I'm very sorry if you felt that way. If you are feeling that way, please in the future, just reach out to me. You know, sometimes I don't ask, you know, you to do something or something else because I'll ask something and you seem busy and I don't want to keep bothering you. So I would prefer it if you would reach out. But I apologize if anything I did hurt your feelings. And then you know what I did for the rest of the solve? Level 3 in the boundaries. Push it all back. Distance. So when they asked me for something 2 days later, I didn't say no. I said my no with a yes, right? I said, I can't do that, but I can do this for you because I have now pushed them back, right? So that's how I solved it. Let's say with your, ready, I'm going to write balls across the screen just to make you smile. Let me capitalize it because that's more fun. People just popping in are going to be like, why did she misspell balls and put it across the screen? But you know, because you're here and you understand. Shara says, I love that acronym and not just because it's funny. Thank you. It's easy to remember, right? So I thought it would be helpful. And it just happened to be what it was. And it made me giggle after I wrote down the 4 things and looked and saw that it was the BALLS acronym. I was like, we're using that. Oh my goodness. All right, so let's throw another situation. If you want to post a situation, please feel free to. I would be happy to use your situation, and we can go through the BALLS steps to release it and help you get rid of this negative energy. Because negative energy, negative thoughts don't release because they haven't done what you needed them to do yet. So by going through these steps, that's what happens. You don't keep holding on to them. The only reason why they're there is because you still feel like you need them. Even if you're somewhere in your brain you wish they weren't there, if you still feel like you need them, they're not going to move. Does that make sense? I hope so. Okay. So let's take another scenario. Let's say that the situation at hand, the negative thing that you're going through is a breakup, okay? You're breaking up with your boyfriend or your husband or your girlfriend or just whoever you're breaking up. So what you're going to do is you're going to put it beside you. Okay. Now, I recognize that there are some times where it's going to sit right here, but for the purpose of moving through this, when you're looking at it and doing the balls, I just said that, yes. You're going to put it beside you so that you can go through this process of starting to release it. Okay. Doesn't have to stay beside you all the time, but you're going to put it beside you for this. So I'm putting it beside me. All right, this is happening. I'm moving through it. Let me put it beside me so that I can look at it from here instead of here. Make sense? Okay, so I have to accept the fact that this relationship has ended. It sucks. I have to accept the fact that I'm in a lot of pain. I have to accept the fact that maybe I didn't want it to end, or maybe I did want it to end and now I feel guilty because it has ended. And I am feeling all kinds of unpleasant emotions because of this situation. And I accept all of that. I accept that in order to move through this, I've got to feel and experience this pain. Okay? I accept that this has happened, and I accept the emotional pain and unpleasantry that comes along with it. I accept it. Saying that out loud, really, really helpful. Okay? Learn. What can I learn from this? What has this breakup taught me? All right. So depending on what happened with the breakup, maybe the breakup taught you that people show their true colors early on. And had you noticed that and stood clear on your boundaries and seen that they were never going to meet them, you would have saved yourself some time. So you're not going to beat yourself up for that, but you're going to go in the future. As I move forward, I'm going to be stricter about that because I have learned that from this. This has taught me that. Maybe it's taught you that you are one strong-ass person and that you can get through anything. You're tough as nails and you can do this. Maybe that's what it's taught you. That's awesome. Maybe it's taught you that you're afraid to not be in a relationship because you stayed too long in one that wasn't serving you. There's a million things it could teach you, and there's never just one lesson, right? What has this taught me? What have I learned? Okay, got it? And then S. Solve. How can I solve this problem? How can I solve this thing that I'm going through? What are some ways to step to the solution? So, okay, I ended a relationship. I'm struggling with it. I'm really feeling low. What is one thing I can do to start to solve this? What's part of a solution? So maybe I'm going to go talk to a therapist to work through my feelings. Maybe I'm going to write a letter to this person that I broke up with that maybe I never send, maybe I do. Maybe I'm going to write down my new boundaries. Maybe I'm going to take a vacation and just take a break from work and just go be by myself on a beach and read a book every day. Whatever you feel like you need, what are some things you can do to solve this issue? What can you do to move through it? Make sense? I hope so. Okay, I think you guys are putting some examples for me.